Hi, Steamer Joe here on a Monday morning. Getting ready to do some assembly on the Sirius steam engine. I've finished just about all the machining. I still have the breather tube and the dipstick fitting to make, but other than that, I think I've got everything complete. I spent yesterday prepping the castings and painting them. So today I think it'll be the first of a short series of videos on the assembly process, which will also give everybody a real good look at all of the parts that go into this neat little Stuart engine. So we'll focus in on the bench. Well, I'm going to start by getting the masking off of the parts that I painted. You notice this head looks real dull, flat. Well, I painted it with some barbecue paint. It's supposed to withstand 1200 degrees. And just as an aside, this is a slide valve throttle that I made many years ago. It controlled the throttle on the Stuart 10V that I had in a boat. But what I wanted to show, this is a steel valve body. It's just a slide valve inside. But I wanted you to see the color of that. That was what the steam did. And I don't know, that's probably, well, you guys that do a lot of heat treat could tell better, but probably at least 450 to 550 degrees to turn that color. So, and the head is going to be the hottest part of the engine, so I used that barbecue black just because I didn't want paint to come to bubble off of this in operation. I don't know, it's not very pretty not being glossy, but I'll see what happens when I run it. The boiler that got that slide valve so hot, the Scott boiler that I built many years ago, but I rebuilt that boiler just a few years back, and improved it, and it has a healthy superheater, and it's more than just a dryer. It actually provides a level of superheat. Well, you can tell that by the color of that valve. And so that's the boiler that I'll demonstrate this engine on once I get it all complete. This box bed is aluminum. I got real creative with the color. That special black color. But it ought to be fine. And I'm gonna, as I assemble this, the engine uses rings, 2 rings per piston. And I've actually run the engine on air here on the bench for, well, I just couldn't wait to see if the darn thing was going to run, and it ran extremely well. But I didn't use the rings. The pistons are a very close fit in the block, about, maybe 7/10 thousandths smaller than the cylinder bores. Since they're cast iron, I don't think I'll run into any kind of binding issues or anything. But and they fit so closely, and of course I kept it slathered with oil, that I noticed no blow-by. I actually picked it up with 60 pounds of air on it. Well, actually, I couldn't hold the flywheel with 60 pounds of air. I think I used about 30 pounds. Held the flywheel with the piston halfway down the stroke. Looked at it from the bottom side, and I could see no bubbling of the air bubbles coming out around the piston. So they actually sealed very well. And the engine runs, even though everything in the engine is held to extremely close tolerances. And I spent days on some of it, assuring that. It just ticked over so smoothly, and I had the cylinders lapped and the pistons very smooth. So, and I'm kind of anxious to see, when I put those rings in there, if it's going to be able to tick over as slowly as it did with the pistons without the rings. I really don't know what to expect. Now I modified my Stuart 10V not too long ago. I built a power plant for a RC boat using that engine, and because I knew of how high the temperatures got, and that engine only has a bronze piston, so I built rings for it. It's only 3/4 inch bore, but I made some rings. That was kind of an interesting project in itself. Cast iron rings, and it worked out quite well. But it definitely had more friction when you turned it over by hand than when it was just running with the bronze piston in the engine. Had some graphite packing in there, which didn't last too well. So, at any rate, this is going to be the final assembly in this series of videos. So, I will install those rings and see how they work. Had some these other 2 little plugs I'm going to remove now were they're threaded 3/16 40. They're in the drain cock holes. I had used them as plugs when I was running it in on air, and they made pretty good masking plugs too. So I didn't mask these. This is where the dipstick and the breather cap go, and they're reamed 3/8 inch holes. I'll probably clear some of the, paint out of the bores, but the little dipstick and breather cap are just kind of a spring fit in the hole, so they don't really hold any pressure or anything. So, well, got the parts unmasked. The base that the box bed bolts to is still drying, as is the flywheel. It's a cast iron flywheel, and I polished it. Almost all Sirius engines you see just have a polished cast iron flywheel. But I so hate rust. I don't know. I painted it just to protect it from rust. It'll be easy to remove it if I decide later that I do want to just run it polished, because I do like the appearance of the bright flywheel. But, well, that'll be it for this part. I'll come back when I get ready to do some more of the assembly.